Hi, this is Ost Meyer. Welcome to our studio here in Kiev.
Today we're going to take you through our remix of Neve by Steve Anderson.
You made me smile and then you made me feel, and you've taken me back to this place.
Yeah, it's finished track and which was out last month on Mando Records. It's our remix of Steve Anderson Neve.
We use only the vocal parts, no MIDIs, no everything, because if you compare it to the original track, it sounds way different, even the harmony.
We want to make something different than original mix.
Usually we start with the groove, but sometimes we start with the breakdown, with the harmony.
It's hard to say.
It really depends on inspiration.
On your idea. Here's our bass.
Bass number 1, that's we use Spire. Reveal sound Spire. That has really nice function which is called FM synthesis. You can switch between them, between different types of synthesis. This is the FM. We use 2 oscillators here and then distorted them. This is the bass number 1.
And the second one.
The second one. Now we can notice how does the sound change when you rotate this knob. We programmed the MIDIs first, and then we started with the sound design. This is the bass number 3. Here is that. They are quite similar, but they are still a little bit different. This is some kind of reversed reverb effects.
Andrew Barr uses.
We made it out of these all synth layers together, then bounced them to the audio, right? Smashed it with the reverb, then bounced again, and some kind of sampling, work on samples. Sounds pretty cool and gives you the energy to the mix.
Let's start the kick drum. For the kick we use kick from Nicky Romero.
Yes, here is that. But we usually use the kick Nicky Romero layered with some audio samples.
The main thing that the kick has to be with the same key as the whole track.
Mm-hmm. And the most important thing here is to avoid any phase issues you might have layering the samples. To control that, you need really good studio control room, as we have here. Now the phase is good, but once we duplicate the kick, for example, now it sounds good, just a bit louder. But if we layer it with another kick, now it sounds bad because the phase
Phase issues.
One kick layer is fighting with another kick layer, and we get these phase issues here. We always try to find different kick sound, the different sample sound, and why is this Nicky Romero kick cool? Because it's very flexible in terms of length, in terms of phase. As you noticed, we increasing the whole envelope length or reducing it until we get the proper phase. Okay, so now
It's a vocal samples
that's made out of vocals.
and white noise.
That's a click, the metronome. You know, 80% of samples we're using is our own designed samples, or we try to search them in the Groove Agent because it has its own libraries.
Just from
And
Battery 4.
they're high quality. Battery 4 we only use to search the third-party samples, not the Cubase native samples. The next we start to process the vocals and finding out the harmony.
Put the vocals, I would say.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in the place I'd stayed.
This is the vocal chain and this is our secret. We use the Saturn not only as a distortion but as the exciter. For exciting is the best choice, even better than EQing.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in the place I'd stayed so many years ago.
This is the dry vocals, and now we're gonna put the Saturn first.
First we use the Saturn to process the vocals.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many years ago.
As you can see, we use the Saturn not as the distortion but as the exciter, multi-band exciter. This is our secret, or one of our secrets. So to say, we always use them on vocals and on leading synths. Then comes the EQing.
Use the pop filter Pro Q for the EQing.
As you can see, we cut some useless frequencies here, some extra peaks.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many years ago.
The tip is always use the analyzer for the vocals if you don't have a proper control room. Even we use that to find the useless frequencies, which is extra strong here on the analyzer. Extra strong level, which doesn't allow to put the sound into the mix.
The 18th hour had passed away.
And now I'm gonna search for those frequencies just to be sure. So I've seen them on the analyzer, but one more control is for just with hearing.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many years ago. The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed.
Here is that. Turn it down to -6 or even to -9 dB, depends on the vocals.
The 18th hour had passed away.
There are usually 2 or 3 such useless frequencies. In this case, we even...
Depends on the mic and the room.
That's why we always recommend to use fully dead, dry rooms to record the vocals.
The 18th hour had passed away.
That's the other one. And these resonant peaky sounds might be caused by the voice itself, by the voice characteristics, and also by the room and by the microphone. So there are three different reasons.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many years ago.
But once again, you got to do it pretty carefully, unless you got a top class control room. Now we got it. De-esser.
The 18th hour had passed away.
As you can see here, the de-esser was placed before the compressor and before the delay.
It's very important.
Exactly this time, because every time is different. In some cases, you need to press the de-esser last in chain, but the compressor first. Depends on mix.
Next come replica, 2A.
18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd
It's very easy
stayed.
to use it.
It's a brand new delay from Native Instruments. Oh, I'm sorry, this is our de-esser.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many years.
Then comes our favorite. This is quite old plugin from Kiev Audio from 2006 or 2007, I guess. They are not available for Mac, unfortunately. That's why we're using PC. They are still 32-bit, but they sound just amazing. So analog, so smooth, and so strong, fat at the same time.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many.
This is the
Threshold.
ratio parameter, the attack,
The
release, the makeup gain, and the threshold. The threshold here is
18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place.
And next comes reverb.
the reverb we use here as a send effect, but in some cases we use the reverb as an insert as well.
The 18th hour had passed away.
As you have noticed, we always use a few different reverb buses.
We use Ost Acoustic Reverb.
18th.
It's our favorite plugin.
But apart from it, we use also the Valhalla vintage reverb, and
Just for the effects.
for the room sounds. This one sounds better on halls, but the Valhalla sounds better on vintage rooms. And if we want to record the live instruments or mix the live symphony orchestra and stuff, we use the Reverence from the Steinberg. It's a very powerful reverb, but it's convolution. It's not the algorithmic. It doesn't have a modulation function. For the trancy sounds, the Ost Acoustic works pretty well. For the EDM, also Ost Acoustic, but for the classical sound, there is a Revelation from Steinberg and the Reverence from Steinberg. The Reverence is convolution and the Revelation is algorithmic. And also we put the delay, the dub station delay, after the reverb on the send bus. In some cases we even use the Saturn on the effects channel. That makes it more transparent. But in this case we don't need it.
Let's play it.
The 18th hour had passed away. I was back in a place I'd stayed so many years ago. You couldn't see it then. Maybe everything changed. How would we ever know?
This is the Spire.
Line.
The Spire once again. It's very good for such sounds. As you can hear, it's pretty glidey.
Now I'm gonna show you how did we process it.
As you can see, in this case we didn't cut any useless frequencies off, because this is a lead sound, so it should have body in them.
And another line.
This is some kind of pads. This is the Nexus. Nothing is difficult here.
Nothing special. Saturn as always.
TQ, in which works like filter. As you can see, this blue cutoff point is automated.
Dub station for the delay.
Make it more wet, and the compressor. This is a little bit different plugin from the Golden
Peak compressor.
Yes, that's a little bit different plugin from the Golden compressor, which you have seen on the vocals. This is the Golden Peak presser, something in between compressor and limiter. Here is the same mega hole as on the vocals. From the start we used the new Ender 3 version, that was in 2008. After that we updated to the Cubase 5, that was in 2009. And after that we got updated each and every year.
Now we use Cubase 8.
First of all, we love the way it sounds. That's the most important thing. The second thing is that we just used to work in that software, and we honestly to say we got a lot of work. We do lots of mixing and mastering stuff for the people. We are professional sound engineers as well, so we just used to work in the Cubase. It's much more comfortable for us, ergonomical, so to say. There are many features in the Cubase we love. Especially we love the meters on the master bus. We love the channel strip. We love the mixing console, the new mixing console, which was started in Cubase 7. What was pretty unusual on this track, we didn't use any standard snare build-ups here. That was made out of sample, but we can do such things in Spire, for example. Now we're going to show how to use that. We're going to initialize the preset. Init preset. You can still hear a little bit of reverb, this
This
is
the main
yes,
bass.
this is the master bass Reverb FX. We're gonna go to the envelope here, to the one of the envelopes, and choose here the oscillator 1 pitch. Before we start with the wave shaping and filtering, we need to go for the pitch bend wheel. Negative pitch bend was set to 0, but the positive was set to
24.
plus 24 or even 36 semitones. Then draw the MIDI file. I think that would be okay. Then go to piano roll. Now we can hear some recording issues. That happens always while live recording. I think we're gonna delete those notes. Then duplicate all this stuff and go for MIDI functions, fixed lengths. Nope, I think we're gonna select the legato. I think that's perfect. Then fixed velocity. Then close this stuff. Nope, get back to piano roll and switch here from velocity to the pitch bend. Here we are. Select the line. This line you can see in the middle below is the 0 pitch bend level.
Be careful with this.
It's not finished yet. That was the MIDI editing. Let's go to the synthesis, sound design. make it wider. Then we're going to use the additional oscillator, and I think we will use the FM synthesis here. Then change the waveform a little bit. Let's control it with the first oscillator. And we're going to increase the voice amount. Then go to oscillator number 3 and switch to the noise mode.
It was second oscillator.
That's the third one. Delete the resonance. Oh, this is the second one. I'm really sorry. Okay, so now we add one more oscillator with the noise. Go for noise, change from the low pass to high pass, reduce the resonance. Then increase the voice amount to 2 or 3. Then we can experiment with the filter. Select Perfecto and low pass 4, right? Let's go to wave shaping. Then go for phaser. Different types of phaser. We'll have to use the wobble, wow effect. No, I think we're not going to use the phaser here. I think that's enough.
You can do whatever you want with this spire.
It's still missing the processing. As you can see, we have still nothing here. Also looking for useless frequencies because we wanted sound into the mix, but not outstanding from the mix. We want to put this sound into the mix as well. Okay. That thing is very important to avoid any distortions. And the high cut. So we won't get any interferences with the hi-hats and high.
Let's play it with the whole track.
Sounds almost done, but we still need to come up with the second oscillator. That was too wicked. I think now it's perfect.
Yes, this one.
This is the previous.
This.
And also add the delay to it. This is the replica. Pretty easy to use. That's our feedback. This is the main knob. Change from dotted to straight. Selected 1 to 4. Or 1 to 8. Then comes the low cut and high cut.
Here's our automation on the main bass,
Yes.
master bass,
As you can see, here is the odds acoustic,
and filter.
and we have the automation on the dry wet knobs. And the low cut is also automated on the master. We also have these wonderful snaps, which I've been taking through this microphone a lot of times, and then
We
later
use the same on our track called Britannica.
there are 3 of them. One is in the center, one in the left, and one on the right.
How did we process it?
And as you can see, they're a little bit
Out of time.
This one plays minus 15 milliseconds. This one plays at 0. and this one plays at plus 15 milliseconds. Here are they.
The one thing on my mind is the look upon your face.
And the golden compressor, which I've seen on vocals.
And every time
In the big room.
Big room. One more interesting thing we have here is this sub-bass hit.
It's very pumpy.
It slides down, and we used the Kick Nicky Romero plugin for it. Everything is simple. You can see the notes and the timing.
With this plugin you can do whatever you want.
Then comes the EQ, and then comes the sidechain.
For the sidechain we use
Volume shaper. At that time we used the old version, and here's the
We
new.
updated.
The new one does pretty much the same job, but it's even multi-band. For the bass line here we used the Zebra from Yuhi.
Strings
That's
from
the
Omnisphere.
strings, simple symphonic strings from Omnisphere.
Some pads from Nexus.
And that's the soft piano. This is Alicia's keys library from the Contact. It's also processed pretty simple.
Simple process.
inside my eyes is the look upon your face. Smile.
Here we have the Anna from Sonic Academy, very powerful synth.
This one is very good for the leads.
And it's very simple to design the sounds, pretty much
And
like
use it.
silent. Here is our plucked sound.
From Anna.
That's a simple super soul.
It's very simple to use it.
Nothing is special. Few oscillators. Pulse, so there are a lot of waveforms here.
We're gonna make a
filters.
whole bank for this synth.
Well, let's get to the master bus. As you can see, we didn't use any master processing except the reverb and the EQ, which are automated. Now let's go to the limiter. Finally, we switch it on.
And every time I see the signs,
And for the measuring, we usually use this BX meter from Brainworks, which is pretty much the same as the TT dynamic range meter, and the Cubase native metering tool.
and every time I see the signs, the thing inside my mind is the look upon your face.
Now we are measuring the RMS level. This is the loudness of the track, so to say, and it's very important while mastering. You should always measure the RMS at the loudest places of the track. We use even two different metering tools. One of them is the native Cubase metering tool, and the other is BX meter from the Brainworks.
You made me smile, and then you made me feel back to this place.
And once we got the proper RMS level, if the RMS is too low, we're just going to increase the limiter volume up. Basically, we are looking for -5 in the loudest places of the track. In some cases, we use -4.
You made me smile, and then you made me feel.
That's too low. Let's increase it. Maybe go for -3 dB. That's still too low. I think +4 or even +5 would be okay.
Yeah.
The most important thing is to avoid any distortions here. As you can hear, we already have some distortions. So we reduced the RMS level. And then finally we switched the dithering. We use the native dithering from the Cubase. And this is how we done the remix for Steve Anderson Neve.